The woods can be dense for our acts. The sea can be deep for our diving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Guess who? Man, you just can't get rid of me, can you? Nope, can't get rid of me. I just won't stop talking. Mr. Yakety Yak, don't talk back. Yakety Yak, Yakety Yak. All right. Yeah, I can feel it. I can feel it. Trudging Together is getting ready to move into its next phase. Man, Trudging Together has been a lot of baby steps. I mean, just a ton of baby steps. Seems to work best that way. I wanted to talk about step 11 today. What I really wanted to talk about was God consciousness. But I also felt like step 11 I go to a lot of newcomer meetings. And so, we don't talk about a lot of these other topics, if that makes sense. We don't talk about some of these other topics. And I'm actually thinking about going to my home group and saying, hey, maybe we can meet once a week, for some of us that have a little bit more time, because I'd really like to hear what some of those people have to say about this other stuff in my group. I'd really like to hear that. So, but we got to take care of the newcomer first, right? Newcomer always comes first. So we're approaching that 3-minute mark. And yep, you're gonna have to put up with it because I still haven't done it. Getting the ticker taken care of is so low priority right now. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I'm gonna be your host. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. It does help us move up, right? So, and if you feel like this video could help somebody else, please share it. Please share it. All right. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and get right to the readings. It's been a while since I've taken a look at step 11 in the 12 by 12. I don't have it memorized like other stuff, so maybe I'm thinking, man, let me split it up. There's so many moving parts right now. It's confusing me. So I'm going to start on the bottom of page 102 in the 12 by 12. And hopefully we'll have some other people show up and give their experience and strength and hope also. As the day goes on, we can pause where situations must be met and decisions made and renew the simple request, thy will, not mine, be done. What they're talking about is starting your day over. Yeah. I do it quite often. It's probably actually the biggest thing in the 11th step that I use. It's hard for me to meditate. I'm getting better at it, though. I'm getting better at it. I'm easily distracted. It's hard for me to focus, you know, but I try. I try as hard as I can. Um, but I always take a lot of pauses during the day where I just sit there and think of nothing. I'm just letting, I'm just looking around, looking at what God's provided me with and all the beauty in it, you know. So um, I don't meditate all at once. I tend to meditate throughout the day. But there it is, you know. God doesn't. God has never come and said, "I don't want you doing it that way." No, He never does that. So if at these points our emotional disturbance happens to be great, we will more surely keep our balance, provided we remember and repeat to ourselves a particular praise or phrase that has appealed to us in our reading or meditation. I tend to use the Serenity Prayer. I use the Serenity Prayer a lot because I can say it real fast in my head, right? Real quick. It reminds me of what I'm trying to do. Think, think, think. You know, we have a lot of sayings. One day at a time. Take it easy. Take it easy is one of our slogans. Just saying it over and over will often enable us to clear a channel choked up with anger, fear, frustration, or misunderstanding, and permit us to return to the surest help of all. Our search for God's will, not our own, in the moment of stress. Doing God's will while everything around you is going to shit. Because in your mind, it's not. That leads me back to the keys of the kingdom where they state that we start to tackle our problems with vigor because we now know how to do that, and we are actually kind of excited to be able to even do it. That's pretty fucking neat. At these critical moments, we remind ourselves that it is better to comfort than to be comforted, to understand that to be understood, to love than to be loved. We will be following the intent of step 11. And it's called the St. Francis prayer. They're getting that out of. We call it our 11th step prayer, right? It's actually one I do not have memorized. I know a lot of it, which is weird because I have a lot of things memorized. Not often that nobody shows up, but anyway. Of course, it is reasonable and understandable that the question is often asked. Why can't we take a specific and troubling dilemma straight to God in our prayers, secure from Him sure and definite answers to our requests? Hi, Ingrid. Yeah, because I know you like to follow along. I'm on page 103 in the 12 by 12. At the bottom, it says, "This can be done." Okay? And I'll take some talking juice so you can get to it. How many other people that you know does this, that knows his people so well that they're like, all right, I'll give you a sec. You know what I love doing? Holding space for people. I love it. It tells them they're worth it. Anybody's worth your time. Don't determine that. Let God determine that. I think we can get rid of the ticker now. Yeah, I think everybody agrees with that. Nobody likes it. If I can get... I've been having so many problems with that. All right. It's gone. So, They just ask us, why can't we take a specific troubling dilemma straight to God? Okay. I'm going to let the book explain it because it's going to do a better job than me. This can be done, but it has its hazards. We have seen AAs ask with much earnestness and faith for God's explicit guidance on matters ranging all the way from shattering domestic or financial crisis to correcting a minor personal fault, like tardiness. Okay? Now, here's the thing. You can ask, okay? But if you're not willing to put any action into it, you think God's just going to give you $200? You think that's how it's going to work? Okay? I'm going to tell you, my higher power, I can't say God, I can't tell her, okay, my higher power doesn't do money, time, or football. Okay, I had to throw another one in there. Okay? My higher power does not decide the outcome of a football game. Okay. Just doesn't. Yeah, I wish too. Yeah, you're in Texas. You really wish. I'm a Bronco fan, so I feel your pain. Yeah, but you're probably not talking football. You're probably talking, to the $200. I'm over here. Yeah, I'm a man, so obviously I think football, right? Yeah. Anyway, and quite often, however, the thoughts that seem to come from God are not answers at all. Intuition, you got to use that intuition. Listen to your gut. It knows. It knows. I know when I'm doing something wrong because my tummy hurts. Just listen to it, man. Listen to it. Okay? Not only that, but I have to remember that a lot of times people go through these quite quickly, and I didn't do that. So I have to remember that everybody has different paths, so I always, because sometimes something goes through my head and I'm like, oh no, Dion, that's just for you. So they prove to be well-intentioned, unconscious rationalizations. So they're well-intended, but well-intended can still affect people. So check your intentions. Okay? Why am I doing this? What am I going to get out of it? Am I looking for some precarious pleasure? Okay? I'm going to tell you something. I've been in situations where I've told people I am stealing vicariously here. I'm letting you know, I'm doing that with my grandkids. Let's just be honest here. Okay? Yes, I am living vicariously through my grandchildren, but I got to be careful. I can't go run around telling my kids how to raise their children. I get mad when I do that. Okay? Now I'm having to learn as a father, I'm having to learn some new things. Okay? But I must, when I make decisions, I must keep everybody else in mind. That includes people I may not even know. The AA, or indeed any man who tries to run his life rigidly by this kind of prayer, by the self-serving demand of God for replies, is a particularly disconcerting individual. And you can see why. I mean, you know why. Because we are making the decisions again. Hey, God, you need to remove the obsession from that person over there. That's a demand. Instead, try it a little different. God, give me the patience and tolerance, or even better, God, give me the right words to be able to go over and help your child. Now, see how that's changed? See, I'm telling God to do the work when I'm the one that's supposed to be doing the work. That's the deal. Okay? And it's not, by the time you get to step 12 and you start living this, it becomes different. It isn't work anymore. It's fun. It's pleasure. Yeah. Be willing to let God take it. Yeah, I knew what you meant. I know, but sometimes we're talking so fast, we're like, oh, hurry. To any questioning or criticism of his actions, he instantly proffers his reliance upon prayer for all guidance in matters, great or small. He may have forgotten the possibility that his own wishful thinking and human tendency to rationalize have distorted his so-called guidance. That can happen easily, easily. With the best of intentions, he tends to force his will into all sorts of situations and problems with a comfortable assurance that he is acting under God's specific direction. Under such an illusion, he can of course create great havoc without in the least intending it. I have so many things, so many examples on that. But I'm trying to find the right one because most of them have to do with putting down. People that do this then they're dangerous. I'm telling you, they're dangerous because they have just enough information to fuck up your life, not ruin your drinking career, fuck up your life. These are the kinds of people, and I've heard this. I've heard somebody say this, where they called CPS on somebody and told that person, "You will thank me later." Wow. How do you know how egotistical that is? You'll thank me later. That's playing God. That's playing God. You best be careful on those fucking phone calls you make. See, some people may not appreciate it and they might have other intentions. And sometimes when you fuck with somebody's children, all right. We also fall into another similar temptation. And these are temptations, and they're going to come across. They're going to happen. You're going to get triggered every now and again, no matter how much time you have. It happens to me every now and again. Like just a couple of weeks ago, I saw somebody taking a drink. I'm like, ooh, that sounds nice. Where the fuck did that come from? I don't even like alcohol. It's replaced by laughing at it because it's like, oh, okay, Dion. Seems like we have new brain cells here and we got to teach them that we don't party here. Okay? We have a lot of fun, but we don't party. No, not like we used to. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Why not approach that person first and give them a chance, man? See, I've made this mistake too. Oh, and I fucking learned. I'm learning. All right. We say to ourselves, this one ought to be cured of his fatal malady. Ooh. Or that one ought to be relieved of his emotional pain. And we pray for these specific prayers or these specific things. Such prayers, of course, are fundamentally good acts. No, they're not. But often they are based on the supposition that we know God's will for the person for whom we pray. No, usually you're praying for that person because they are doing something that you don't like and you are refusing to change. Let's just be honest. No, that's that person refusing to change. That's a two-stepper. All the way. They do steps 1 and 12. Okay? And if they've been to treatment, if they've been into AA before, I can tell you we're very smart people. And they will manipulate. They will start to manipulate others into their own ideas. Then they start to create their own meetings and it becomes a cult. I've seen plenty of cults spur off. One guy getting like 4 women pregnant and shit. Oh, it's crazy. Crazy. Okay. Part of what we do is protect people. That's part of our job. Okay? But that doesn't mean I get to tell God what to do. No. In that situation, I see that person over there suffering and I'm praying to God. What I need to do is get up off my fucking butt and go over there and help them. Right? Isn't that what we should be doing? That's what I do. That's what I do. Yesterday, and I loved it. I loved it. Yesterday, we had a new person in our meeting, and we were fighting over who was going to talk to him. Love it. But we weren't really, right? Personally, I thought Gordon was the best person to talk to him. I love Gordon. He's a great guy, man. Told the story on our podcast. He's a really cool, down-to-earth dude. I like him a lot. We got some good ones coming up, too. If Dion could get up in time to get these done. I had one today, but there was a family emergency last night, and I knew I wasn't going to make it to 11, but I think it was. So anyway, such prayers are fundamental. This means that side by side with earnest prayer, there could be a certain amount of presumption and conceit in us. Yes, I can be conceitful. Okay? And when I am, I usually post something silly on Facebook, and then I hear from my friends within minutes. It doesn't take long. Dion, why are you out of your lane? But you know what? It's those people that have helped me be successful. And I'll do it for you too. Yeah. See, friends, here's the thing. If you do something, I will have your back. If it's wrong, when we're alone, I'm gonna tell you. But I will have your back, you see. Okay. It is because I love you a lot. There's a lot of people that I love that I probably love more than they love themselves. That's okay. They're learning how to love. And I have enough that I can love hundreds of people at a time and give them enough love. See, love is also indispensable. Like willingness and open-mindedness and honesty. Love is also indispensable. That's okay. That's all right. It goes an hour and a half. So you're awesome. Thank you, Ingrid. I love you. And we'll see you in a little bit. I'm getting ready to wrap up. So you're good. I love you. Thank you. In AA, it is AA's experience that particularly in these cases, we ought to pray that God's will, whatever it is, be done for others as well as for ourselves. Surprised they didn't say anything about action, but that's okay. In AA, we have found that the actual good results of prayer are beyond question. They are a matter of knowledge and experience. All those who have persisted have found strength, not ordinarily their own. That's what I'm going through right now. They have found wisdom beyond their usual capability, and they have increasingly found peace of mind which can stand firm in the face of every difficult circumstance. I feel like this thing's reading my mail. And I knew this was happening, but it just didn't occur to me. And I don't know why. And I don't know why it's hitting me so hard. Last week I was talking with a friend. Talked to her on Thursday. She's having a really hard day, right? And I help people with really hard days because I have them too. By the time we were done, she was ready to get back on her business. You know, she got 7 years sobriety. Okay. But that morning, she wanted to drink. And I'm always asking God to speak through me. And we talked the next day, And she said, Dion, you really, really helped me out yesterday. I am so happy. Thank you. And I told her, you know what? I don't remember half of what I said to you. And she said, it felt really weird to me also because I felt like I was talking to my higher power. And it occurred to me that every time that happens to me, God's literally taking over, and it feels overwhelming. It also feels very peaceful. See, it only feels overwhelming because it's new. I'm not used to it. So I'm putting delayed gratification in there. Okay? Because that portion will eventually end also. But what will not end is the peace and serenity that I get for doing the work. That doesn't end. It always gets better. Always. Even when I take 2 steps back, it's still better because I'm learning. I love y'all. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. Peace out and have a day.